Hey, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a soak off. You'll see here that I have 4-week-old nails. They're a little bit over 4 weeks old. And usually I use a builder gel and do infills, but this time I'm actually going to be soaking off the whole thing for the first time ever. So I thought I would take you along with me. I did look up another person's experience with soaking off luminary gel, which is what I have on, and they titled their video "The Soak Off from Hell." So I figured I should document this and see how it goes for me. So I'm starting with my e-file and a carbide bit. It's a chunkier bit. It has teeth, and I'll be using that bit to get off most of the bulk of the nail. And the goal here is to remove as much of the gel on my nails as I possibly can, that I feel comfortable with, without damaging the natural nail, so without touching the natural nail. So usually, as I mentioned, I do infills. I have luminary gel on my nails at all time, and it works really, really well for me. I rarely have any issues with it lifting or anything like that. So I've been really enjoying using luminary gel, and usually I'll file off the bulk of the product and then just add more on top to rebalance the nail and to cover the outgrowth up near the cuticle. And then I'll do some sort of look on top of that basis of builder gel. So I have actually soaked off a builder gel before, only once, and it was a soak off builder gel from Sally's that I tried a long time ago, and I wasn't confident enough to infill at that point. So I decided to just soak it completely off, and to be honest, it put me off using builder gels altogether, because I wasn't confident in infilling, and it was such a mess to remove that I didn't really know how I would use a builder gel, underneath my manicures, so I didn't for a while. But once I got an e-file and just started to try infilling, that changed my attitude quite a bit, and I've used builder gel ever since. That said, I've used luminary gel for about a year now, and I've never soaked it all the way off. So yes, the reason I was soaking this off was really only because I wanted to switch over to clear luminary gel. If you saw my last video, it was a haul of different things that I got during Black Friday. One of the things was clear luminary gel, and another thing was a lot of jelly polishes. So you'll see, I'm showing you here how much bulk I've removed so far. Really quite a bit when you compare it to the pointer finger. But anyway, yes, I've bought a lot of more sheer jelly polishes recently. And in order to do some looks with them, I wanted to have a clear base instead of this opaque pink base on my nails at all times. And another reason is that it can be nice to have a clear base on your nails in order to just be able to see through and see your natural nail plate, and kind of just keep an eye on it, make sure nothing is going wrong, nothing weird is happening, which nothing weird has been happening, but I'd like to know that at all times, whenever I'm switching up my nails at least. So you'll also see that the thumbnail that I did, I left it at full speed or at regular speed, and that's because I wanted you to be able to see how long it actually takes me with the equipment I have to remove polish when I do infills. I think that I've seen people online who are probably more experienced with an e-file, who probably have a better e-file, but who also probably are speeding up their videos, which is, for obvious reasons. It's you kind of have to. No one wants to watch you e-file at regular speed for a whole video. But I think watching people documenting their e-filing, I was kind of thinking like, wow, I'm taking a really long time to do this. So I wanted to leave in the first nail just as a realistic kind of speed for what you might expect starting out e-filing with a more basic e-file when you're trying to remove gel polish. But then the rest of these nails are at double time. So yes, I'm going in with the carbide bit first, and then when I'm done with that, you'll see that I go in with a sanding band, and that's going to be to take off a little bit more polish kind of closer to the nail, or not polish, but more of the luminary gel close to the nail. Because the carbide bit has teeth, you really don't want that anywhere too close to the natural nail. So that's being used as sort of the first round to get the bulk of the polish off, and then I'm using a sanding band at a lower speed to just remove a little bit extra after. And you'll also see that I'm not really trying to make sure that I'm taking off all of the red polish there. It's really not a priority because that's definitely going to easily soak off in the acetone. I'm not worried about that. And I think in general, when you're doing infills as well, you definitely want to be careful not to try and like file off every single little bit. Obviously you don't want red underneath your manicure, but you just want to be gentle around the edges of where you're filing when you're getting close to the natural nail, and you really don't want to be too aggressive. And I would recommend watching more experienced people, professionals. I'm not a nail tech. Watching them and learning from them on how best to e-file your nails. I'm still figuring that out. And there are a lot of excellent resources out there. People sharing a lot of really valuable insights about how to do this safely. So, yeah. I also just wanted to talk about luminary gel for a little bit because I've had some questions about like what is under your nails. And I know that I think the terms for different types of gels can be really confusing. So luminary gel, as I understand it, is a soft gel that's a builder gel, is I guess, or a structure gel. So a builder gel is something that helps to add strength to your natural nails. It can be worn alone or with colors on top. And it can be soft or hard. And soft gels generally are ones that can soak off with acetone. And hard gels are ones that can't. They need to be filed all the way off. So this is a soft builder gel. But just because it's soft doesn't mean that it can't be infilled. It doesn't mean that you have to soak it off. And in fact, I would recommend that you don't. I think infilling makes a lot more sense because you're only touching the natural nail once. Each time that you infill, you touch the kind of bare nail at the top there. And then for the rest of the time that you're doing your nails, that part is covered by at least a thin layer of gel. So I think it can just be better for the natural nail. All right, so next up, we're going to be soaking. Here you go. Anyone who's ever had a gel manicure removed or a no-chip manicure will understand what we're looking at here. My nails are wrapped in foil mostly, with a cotton pad attached to the foil covered in acetone. You'll see that the thumbnail, let's pause for a second and just talk about whether it's coming off, because this is the whole point of the video. Look at that. It's coming off. The long and short of it is that, yes, you absolutely can soak off luminary gel, not that you should every time. So, you'll see that it's actually coming off here. I was pretty surprised, and I was being a little bit aggressive with the cuticle pusher there. I actually scraped my nail plate a few times, which I obviously don't recommend. I think I was expecting it to be a lot more stubborn than it actually was. But then, you'll see that closer to the tip of the nails, it was a little bit more difficult to remove. And I think this is because I was using a nail primer, a non-acid primer, and it was sort of making my skin itch, and I'm very vigilant about any kind of like skin allergy. I know that people have issues with gel polish sometimes, so I stopped using the primer a couple of fills ago. So I could tell, and you might be able to see, I'm not sure if you can, but as I got to the part where I had a non-acid primer on my nail, it was definitely more stuck in those areas than it was on the top where I hadn't used a primer. I will say that I've had no issues with the parts of my luminary gel that I haven't used a primer with. So I did actually buy a new primer to test it out. But honestly, it's been holding up very well without a primer on at least the top part of the nail. So you'll see that I'm removing the last little bits with my fingernail, which of course, if you were a professional working on a client, you wouldn't do. And then just sort of running the pusher over the whole thing. And what I will do in a second here is I will put the cotton pad back on and let it soak a little bit while I'm working on the rest of the nails, just so I can get off any last little remaining bits. But yeah, I'll let you just watch me removing this. I don't know how much else I have to say about it, except for that I hope that you can see that it was honestly pretty close to the difficulty level of soaking off regular gel. Oh, actually, before I let you go, I will also say that I did soak it for 20 minutes. I think that's important to know, and that might be longer than people would typically soak off no chip gel. To be honest, it's been long enough now since I have soaked off my polish instead of filing it off that I don't fully remember. But I did make sure to leave it on for 20 minutes. And because I live in Chicago and it is super cold here, basically from like September on, I'm often wrapped in a heated blanket, and that was the case on this day. So I just tucked my hand underneath the heated blanket. And, you know, I know a lot of people swear by using a little bit of heat when you soak off, and I did do that. I haven't tried soaking off without heat, so I can't tell you if it works much better with heat, but yeah, just so you know, I soaked for 20 minutes and I did have my hand under a heated blanket. But yes, this did just fine. I'm going to let you watch me removing the last little bits, and then I'll pop in at the end. thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful to you. And I hope that you'll subscribe, like the video and comment if you can. It's super helpful. And I'd love to see you back here for some more videos. Have a good one. Bye.